Hello and welcome to the Peak Millennials podcast. I'm Collins.
And I'm Natalie.
Each week we will delve deep into various Peak Millennial topics, exploring what we remember
And what we want to forget.
and reading some captivating stories that'll invoke a sense of deja vu in all of us.
This is the age before iPhones and the social media that we know today.
This is where a good mixed CD, silver eyeshadow, and MTV raised us.
So crack open that Jones soda
And kick off your black Converse.
and let's teleport back to the world of the Peak Millennials. Make sure to send your stories to our Peak Millennials pod at gmail.com or slide into our Instagram DMs at Peak Millennial Pod. If I didn't say that, send us your stories. I don't know where words are at.
And make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. Hello.
Hello.
It is a new week. I'm in a new place.
It is. I have a new bed, and
We have a bunch of new things.
We're just.
What's this picture?
Oh, I got it at. Let's see. Oh, I have two actually.
Whoa!
This one is a Monet. It's It's called like In the Garden with the Dahlias. We grow a lot of dahlias at our house. And then this is, I don't know where my hand is going. I clearly am terrible at pointing.
Monsters.
It's all Studio Ghibli. So it's a local artist, Justin Hillgrove, but he redoes like a bunch of different themes. So there's this one is like Studio Ghibli, so it's like Totoro, Cat Bus, Kiki, Howl's Moving Castle, like all that stuff. But he's done like he's done where what's that? What the Wild Things Are. He like redid that in his own style, but he does like a lot of like monster art. He did one like Lord of the Rings style. So Danielle, who was on our pod, my mother-in-law got her like a Lord of the Rings one that looks very similar to the Studio Ghibli. But yeah, Monet is my favorite impressionist artist. So aren't
you just like a woman in the arts here?
I really wanted, when I first went to college, I wanted to go for early childhood education, but I wanted to switch over to art history because I love different art styles. But I never did that. But I guess I could now.
Oh, you could now. I love that. I love learning things about you.
If I was better at art, I really would love to. Part of the art history is I wanted to learn how to do restoration, but I am not. My family and people around will say that I am creative in that sense, but I am very tough critic, so I say I
sure.
Can't. But anyways, yes, I love telling you things about myself.
It's like that person that tried to restore that painting of Jesus or something.
Yes.
And it turned out to look like something that rolled out of Sesame Street.
Yeah. So funny quick story, and then I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. But I took a lot of art classes between like middle school and high school. Like I had taken an art class like every semester or every, option that I could. To the point that I think the art teachers really were annoyed by me. Because I just wanted to learn as much as I could about art, like as I could. Anyways, there's one medium that I hate, I hate using it. I don't like it. It makes me angry, and that's oil pastels. I hate chalk pastels too. I think it's a texture thing. Like I can't really control the chalk, and oil pastels are really hard because if they get too hot, then they get too melty, and then everything turns into a big blob mess. There was an art project that like I had to do a landscape, and it was like multi-depth thing. There was like multiple, there's just like front, like a forefront, middle, background. It was just a
Mhm.
mess. I hated this piece of art. I absolutely hated it because I hadn't learned how to like blend the shadows of like the hills. It was like basically going up a hill and then there was a cactus and like a bunch of shit behind it. And I hadn't learned how to like properly blend anything. So it was just like green, black, green. It was just like
Right.
squiggly. And then this thing. I hated this piece of art. My mom loved it. Like loved this thing to the point that she went to like Joann's or Michael's and got it professionally matte and framed. And it still currently hangs up in my mom's house to like, I have to look at this art and be like, Mom, do you realize that I've done a lot of other art that I could give? I still have. I have it in the garage. I could give
Mhm.
it to you and I would gladly give it to you. Could we maybe switch out this like terrible oil pastel picture that I just next time I go, I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you and we can post it on the pod page and just be
Mhm.
like, this is the artwork that I just
I need to see it.
I can't.
Absolutely
I can't.
need to see it.
And like I was like, Mom, why did you get this matte? Like, why did you get this professionally? Like in a
Yeah.
frame, like, and it's not cheap to do that either. And she was like, I just love this picture. You're just so talented. And I was like, thank you, Mom. Like, I appreciate you. But like at the same time, like, could we change it to like a better picture? I was like, please, we maybe have something else.
Can we have something else?
But like, yeah, I love a good I love art so much. So probably to my husband's annoyance sometimes because I just yeah. I'm like, oh, do you know this artist? He's like, no. And, oh, have you seen this? He was like, no. And I'm like, okay. He was like, oh yeah. I'm like, let's go look at Van Gogh. And I was like, you mean Van Gogh? And he was like, oh no, I don't know. And I was like, okay, cool,
I love Van Gogh.
I do. We actually,
Um,
not to cut you off, so I'm sorry. I just feel like I have a lot to
yeah, feel
say.
free. Go ahead. Cut me off. It's fine.
Speaking of Van Gogh, we went to Half Price Books and got Little B some books.
I love half price books.
We traded in
Bury
some
me
of
in a
her
half price books.
and yeah, I traded in like 40 books, 40 like children's books, and they're like,
Oh,
here's $8. It's like, thanks, friend. But I found a book that I had never seen before, and like, not me trying to like push my
mm-hmm.
love of art onto her, but I found a book and it was called Vincent Can't Sleep. And it was about Vincent van Gogh and the fact that he struggled from childhood through his adult life with insomnia. And one of the
Oh,
like in the book it insinuated that he used art as a um like going outside and like looking at all the stuff. But yeah, I love it. It's a really good book. So it's called Vincent Can't Sleep. The artwork is just amazing. It's done like in his style with the very short brush movements. But I digress. Let me not I won't we won't don't have to talk about this all day.
for those who don't know, by the way, Half Price Books is a bookstore where you can bring in your old used books, whatever condition they are, they appraise them and they can give you money or they can give you store credit. And then you can buy used books there.
Mhm.
They're most of them are in like really cool condition. I was
Mhm.
looking for some Washington State travel books to gift to someone, and I found a book from the 1980s, and it
That's
was like
cool.
it was really cool because it had like old like maps inside. I was like, I just want to
Oh, I
like
love
take
that.
the maps out of the book and like frame them. You know what I mean? But
Mhm,
it was
mhm.
talking about the viaduct.
Oh,
And for
Alaska
those who
Way?
don't know, the
Oh,
Alaska Way Viaduct no longer exists. It used to be this highway that kind of cut off like where the pier was and the ferry um but now there's a tunnel that
Mm-hmm.
you can go, but they really expanded like um the pier area and extended. It's very more I guess friendly for tourism to
Yeah,
walk
it's
up and
more
down.
pedestrian friendly. That's for
Pedestrian, thank you.
sure.
I was thinking
You're
of
welcome.
tourism. Pedestrians can walk
Pedestrian.
around
Yeah.
and walk from Pike's Place. I always say Pike's
Ooh,
Place, and people get like on their asses about it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it wrong. But Pike
whatever.
Place Market, and then they go down towards like the ferries. There's a Ferris wheel there. There's the famous Ivers. The Seattle Aquarium is down over there as well. But it
There's
like
like a whole
has
new like park space
mhm,
down there too.
yeah. So it's really cool. I haven't gone yet because also
I ain't going.
it's downtown Seattle, and I'm not usually doing that when I go to Seattle. And if you keep going down into the Soto neighborhood, um, that's where all the stadiums are. And as we're getting ready for the World Cup and everything going on here, which I guess I didn't understand the World Cup and that is it's in multiple cities in the United States.
Yes.
So we don't have we're not hosting everybody. I was under the impression that we were hosting everybody. And I
No,
was like,
no friend.
that's so many people. I mean, it's still going to
No
be a
friend.
lot of people in our city, but like I'm an idiot. That's all it is. It's fine.
That's totally fine because one, I have no idea when the World Cup starts. Two, I think I've watched one like soccer game in my life.
That's it. That's it. I only watch the
Yeah.
World Cup, by the way.
I've watched I went to one Sounders game back in 2011 maybe. Um and the girl that I had gone to at the time, we like got season tickets from one of our like mutual friends and sat,
Mhm.
at in the stadium. Uh what is CenturyLink? It's not CenturyLink anymore. Uh I
Lumen
don't
Field. It's
Lumen Field.
Lumen
I
Field.
It was CenturyLink then, but now it's Lumen Field.
Yeah.
I don't know. Clearly, I'm a big sports person. So anyway, but yeah,
all of
and
the
it was
cities that they're having matches in, it's Vancouver, Seattle, the Bay Area in California, Los Angeles, Kansas City, Dallas, Houston, Toronto,
Kansas
Boston, New
City.
York, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Miami, Monterey, Mexico, Mexico City, and Guadalajara in Mexico.
That's a lot.
So
That
the
is a
first match is June 11th. Oh, next week.
next Thursday. This
Mm-mm. Next
that's
Sunday.
this Thursday, June
That's a
11th.
Thursday?
Yeah, it's a Thursday. It's
Oh, it is a
literally
Thursday.
yeah,
Do I even know what
Thursday.
day it is? I don't.
No,
Mm-mm.
I don't. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. Um, yeah, it goes from June 11th through July, which would be the finals. But
I mean, like that's cool, and I'll be like, "Woo, go sport!" It's just
it'll
I
be
mean, literally,
exciting. Shakira did a song for it.
yeah, BTS is going to be performing too.
That's what I care about.
The music side of it is always the most important.
Mhm.
Um, on a music note, uh, the Seahawks official Instagram page hinted that there might be, or they put up on their post, these three symbols that insinuate that BTS could potentially be coming to Seattle. And if they do come to
What?
Seattle, I will pee my pants.
Okay, well, don't pee your pants
Um,
because that would be
out of
really.
full and utter just joy and crying.
Please don't pee
So
your pants.
it would be totally fine. Yeah, so this last album that like BTS put out, like this new album, it has 3 symbols.
Mhm,
And it ties back to like Korean culture and stuff like that. Anyways, and it was
mhm.
like symbols and through. And the official 12 Seahawks page put on their story or their put up a post that was like the 3 symbols plus the army symbol
Oh.
plus lumen field, like the lumen field
Oh, and then
thing,
the
and then
12.
12. And I'm like, and it says 12 is 1, and that's the BTS thing, is that like army is 1, like BTS, like we're
Do
all
you think that
in
they're
the
gonna have to do multiple nights? Because it seems
I
like they
yeah.
did multiple nights
They've done multiple
in
nights for in
Vegas.
Vegas, Stanford. They're doing multiple stops in LA, but the biggest thing was that we as fans didn't think that they were coming because Seattle is hosting the World Cup
Right, the World
in
Cup.
in the same time frame. Like they're in Korea, they're doing their shows in Busan right now. So like they're back there, but because Seattle was hosting for World Cup, it's like, and they've got shows scheduled through the rest of the year now
Mhm.
ish. So it would have to be like the start of 2027. If they come here in 2027, I'm I may lose my mind.
Okay.
May lose my mind.
Well,
Because we just couldn't make it work, like for them in the states, like their state shows right now.
mhm.
Because every single show that they had that was on the West Coast that was as convenient for us as possible was in the middle of school year or at the beginning of next school year. And I was like, I cannot.
Well,
So
you'd also have to get on an airplane. And you know what I found out about you today?
I hate airplanes.
You
I
hate
hate airplanes.
airplanes.
I do. I hate flying.
You hate
Um
flying.
I absolutely hate it. And like Brian is totally fine. My like everybody that I know is like totally fine, fine. I will get on a plane, and I've flown plenty of times because I had to like when I worked for Torrid, I had to go to LA to do like like store manager training. We've flown to Las Vegas a couple of times just for like funsies, and one time to see BTS. And like I'll fly, I just don't like it. I understand that planes are technically safer, and from someone said that planes are safer than being in a car or like other modes of transportation. I don't feel that
Right.
way. I feel like I'm in a little tin sardine can, and it's like like I feel like I'm gonna die. And I
You
think
don't
it's
like
just
it.
I
So,
don't like it.
because of comfort level.
A comfort level. No, I also just think that I think I'm gonna die every time we get on a plane.
So it has to do with like trauma.
9/11.
9/11.
9/11. Yeah, 9/11.
9/11.
Um,
Okay, is that like a
9/11.
thing? Because like you're not the first person to tell me that, like, because it is a legit fear that was ingrained in all of us in
Yeah,
very formative years, to be like, hey, these things could happen on an airplane
yeah.
that you have no control over.
Mhm,
You have to trust your entire life into
mhm.
people's hands, and actual trauma can happen to you and you could pass away. And with all of these flight things that are happening where planes are colliding and catching
Air
on
traffic
fire,
control is not having enough
it's
employees.
I can understand you, like, your
A little feared.
hesitation.
A little feared.
However, I feel like this is a very millennial experience because like the younger generation, they don't have like they literally did not watch the two towers just like disappear from the
Yep.
landscape, right? And the older generations were just like, just another day, just another Tuesday, you know? More trauma on top of whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. And I mean, like, I've flown. I mean, when I was 15, like, I went on like a trip with one of my friends and her family to Hawaii, and like that was I mean, across an ocean. Like, we flew that far, and like I said, I've flown to California a bunch of times. Like, I've
Sure.
flown to Las Vegas. I like flying into Vegas, and
Mhm.
it's really just takeoff and like
And
takeoff and
landing.
touchdown. Yeah. In the air, I can just kind of like disassociate and it's fine.
All
But
right.
it's like the takeoff part is what freaks me out because everything's so like fiddly. I do prefer flying like Alaska over. I mean, I've only really flown Alaska or Southwest. And I will never fly
I'll
Southwest
never
ever
fly
again.
Southwest ever again.
Oh, it's dreadful. It's so bad. It's that is the tin can of the sky. It was like it was like Spirit was like the Sprite can, and like Southwest is like the tin can. Like you emptied out your can of vegetables and got into that, like anyways. Anyways, I just don't like flying. I know that a lot of people do, but I would like to just travel differently. I've also never been
I
on a
will tell
train
you, I'll
because there's
confess
you know
something for you. I flight is my only like I would only let me say this. Flying is so fast that
Yeah,
like when I've done cross country, like it is the fastest method of
mhm.
transportation, sure. But it is not my preferred because I don't like being close to people. I like my space and I don't understand why
Yeah,
we aren't like really pushing for like why you gotta attack fat people? You know what I mean? Like for wanting more space. Don't you want more leg room? Don't you want like free bags? Like doesn't everybody want this, you know?
I
Whereas
just
like
yeah, why do I have to
when I've
no,
gone
go
on like
ahead.
an Amtrak, you get
Mhm,
like a nice meal,
mhm.
like you can sleep, there's Wi-Fi, like I can still use my phone.
Yeah,
My
mm-mm.
bags are
But
accessible right there.
I do have to say though, Amtrak comparative to, like, other trains, like, in Japan and
Mhm.
Europe, in anywhere else, Amtrak is, like, the ghetto, like, the ghetto. We sometimes we watch this
I mean,
guy
it's
on
better than a
YouTube.
Greyhound bus.
No, that's very true. It's much better than a Greyhound bus. I could never I
Mhm.
a little known fact, I get car sick. Natalie is car sick city, like, which
Sure.
is weird because was when I was pregnant, I didn't get car sick at all. But before and after pregnancy, oh, I get car sick so bad. And I get seasick. So like I'm just a just a hot mess. But I do
Sure.
find like air sick? No. I don't get sick on the plane. I'm fine. Um But I couldn't be on a bus. Like, if I'm in a
Sure.
moving vehicle, like, I need to have, like, some airflow, like, air in my face, like, either the window down or the AC on, and I
Yeah.
just find that, like, buses and this was, reminded to me a couple of weeks ago when I took Lil B on her, like, field trip, and I had
Sure.
to sit on the school bus, and I was like oh god, this is the worst. Like, and couldn't have a window down. And, like, it's like bouncy. I was like, this is no good. I cannot be on this bus.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean by car is fine. We've gone on a cruise and that was fine. I'll fly if I have to. I just get kind of freaked out.
You know what? No one's forcing you today on this podcast. No one's
But it
forcing
might.
you.
One day I might
One day
be.
I might.
One day.
One day I might ask you
But
to, and
that's the
you got
crazy
to be
thing is
ready.
I want to travel. So like on Brian and I's like bucket list is like we want to go to Japan, we want to go to
Hmm.
Korea. Um I would love to go. I'd love to go to like Europe and go to like Italy and Greece and like go through those places. Like France would be cool. Um Basically anywhere outside of the US. Like get me out of here. Get me out. Anywho, I would love to just travel. I'd love to travel a
Yeah,
lot of places. But the idea of flying really freaks me out sometimes. I think a lot of it has to do with the like
because of
what
nine
you had
11.
talked about. No, well, that too, but like um yeah,
I'm
because I've
not
never been
laughing
in
at you. I
no,
just
it's
get it.
fine. But it's like I've never flown to New York because or I've never flown to like the East Coast. Because it like I'm like, oh my gosh, is that gonna be that's gonna be the day. Um but I really want to travel, but I get really freaked out about flying long distances. Um
Sure.
but that's about I also I don't know. I also get freaked out that like I'm going to travel out of the country and then there's going to be like again, there is nothing because I have no like my record is so squeaky clean. Um but I'm like afraid I'm going to get to a foreign country and they're going to be like you're a criminal and like some days I wish that I didn't have that type of brain, the
The
doomsday
doom.
brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's the
I
doomsday
mean, it's
brain.
like the people who the other day were on
Mhm.
stuck on the roller coaster, and it was 90
Never.
degrees,
Mm-mm.
90-degree angle,
Mm-mm.
and they had to take
Mm-mm.
people one by one and literally like unlatch them and have them like kind of fall.
No, I didn't even see that, and I won't. Mm-mm.
That
Speaking of
that gives me anxiety.
speaking of stuck, did you see this week about the lady that drove on the light rail?
Oh my god, do you know how many people from outside of Seattle told me that they were like, "Oh, look at your fucking city, you dumbass, blah blah
She
blah."
was
And I was
from
like, "Okay,
Utah.
I need to see this location." And from what I saw, if you're a normal person that drives this every day, because people drive it every day,
Every day.
you recognize this is the lane for the train. There are obviously train tracks. The cars go parallel to it, and they are literally sitting plane level, but the train goes up like a roller, like a.
Literally like a roller
She
coaster.
she made it so fucking
So
far.
so far. So
So
far.
this 7-year-old lady drove her car onto the light rail tracks. What did they say? Like 0.2 miles, like up
Mm-hmm.
and like up to the station. And she said, I was just following my GPS. She's got Utah plates.
Did you see how much she got fined?
No.
It was like over $100,000 fined. Yeah.
For for following the GPS?
We're going on the
She's,
light rail tracks. That's crazy.
I mean, the light rail was closed
Absolutely.
for 2 hours during peak, which sucks.
Mhm. Mhm.
But like
No
she
thanks.
didn't have a large car. You know what I mean? Like she hit them 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 tracks. And I saw a video where it was like it cut off because her car stopped, but like she was still driving all the way up to the station. Like, this
I
has to
don't
be a mental health episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
was
this has
like,
to be something.
how could you just keep driving? Like, and it's not so for our
Yeah,
listeners that like aren't in the state and don't know what the light rail is a train. And like it's not
right.
like flat on the road. It's like literally train tracks
It's train
on the road.
tracks.
So like there has to be like that lady's car had to been like da, 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 da. And at, at what
But do
point like
some people just live their life like that?
I mean, I don't know. Like how did you not feel that you were driving on the train tracks? How did you not notice that like on the road there was like raised lines that weren't like they weren't painted white, like
Right.
that there's two sets of identical tracks because there's obviously like side by side. Like I'm like, how are you can you not have your
How have
license
you
and
been on
not
this
have your
planet and have a license, in my
how are you
opinion?
that
Like,
old? No, yeah, no.
but like, so anytime I've like accidentally like run over like, I don't know, an aluminum can, I'm paranoid that there's something wrong with my car. So I like turn off
Yeah.
like all the noise and I'm like, "Oh my god, that metal sound." But then I like, "Oh, it was probably a can." Like it was probably something. But in my brain, I'm so hyper vigilant of like, if this is a weird sound or weird feeling, I immediately am like, I gotta take it. I gotta take it in. I gotta pull over. Like I can't keep going. And you see those
Right?
videos of people like driving and they have no tire and it just sparks and they're just like, do living in my own delusion.
No.
And she didn't have a
No.
DUI or
You
anything. She
can't.
was just 7 years
Mm-mm.
old following her GPS.
Just following your GPS. Another fun little story of news in the area is that
Hmm.
so where I live, we have there's like a part of Renton that's we we call it, I hate to say it like publicly, and I guess it's fine, but we just call it kind of like scary Renton. It's like just kind of like it's not our
What do
favorite
you
place to
mean?
go. Um
Okay.
there's just I mean it's just kind of like a rundown area of Renton. It's like in
Sure.
between. I mean, there's just a you're more
Go
likely to
on.
see people that like have like a vent lean on them.
Sure.
So it's just kind of
There
like
are a lot of people who
that.
don't know that, like when they're folded over, by the way. A
Mhm. Yeah.
fentanyl is people on
So there's just
fentanyl.
a lot of just like and there's more like suspicious activity down in that area of Renton. And like they're
Uh-huh.
trying to like rebuild like clean it up and all that stuff and that's great.
Mhm.
Um but there is a Walmart supercenter that is in that area of
Mhm.
Renton. And on Friday, someone attempted to set it on fire.
What? A Walmart?
The bras.
Wait a minute, on
They
the inside of the
On
store?
the inside of the store, someone went in and intentionally set the store on fire.
What?
I'll send you the video.
Send me
It's on
that link.
Instagram.
Send me that link.
Yeah,
Because
it's
what do you
crazy.
mean? Like they
Oh, yeah,
caught them
no.
in the attemption or was it already set on fire?
Uh,
I am
where
so
are you?
curious.
No, someone like went I just sent it to you. Someone went inside the Walmart and like went into like the intimates, which is like the intimate section is like almost dead center of the store. Because there's like two entrances. There's one that's like closer to the garden center. It's very similar to like the Paulsville one where there was like two
Yeah.
entrances. There's like the home, like the grocery side, and then there's like the home and garden side. Um
Oh my
It's crazy.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
we have to pause for a second. I gotta
Okay.
give my babies a hug.
Okay. And
We'll be
this is an
back
ad break.
today.
Thank you so much. Wait.
I back. We back.
We're back. Sorry. Guys, we're back. Our topic for discussion this week is burnout the new norm? And I love our little chit chats. It makes my brain feel the little, like the little sea anemones with the little,
Yes.
like I feel like that's what my brain is doing when we have little mindless chit chats. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm hella like burnt out. I think life and
Yeah.
politically, like I think the climate we're in, like everything just seems like very doom and gloom all the time. And I want to like have a conversation. And it doesn't have to be finite. It can be open-ended. But like burnout just seems to be the new normal of I've talked to so many people and the things that they describe and the things that they're feeling are
Yeah.
burnout. Um, do you know that this term was coined in the 1970s
No,
by Dr. Herbert
I didn't.
Freudenberg? He's a German-born American psychologist who coined the
That is
term
a
burnout.
last name.
Yeah, he described it as a state of
Freudenberger.
physical and mental exhaustion caused by one's professional life. Um, he, this Dr. Freudenberger, would work 10 hours a day in his private practice. And after he would do a second full shift at the free clinic, um, and seeing the disparity and everything, it like that's just a lot of time compounded into things. And then he started having like issues with his daughter, not in well health. And it just felt like there was a never ending cycle of what he coined as burnout. Um, but burnout is very real. It can occur when you have repeated or prolonged high demands that exceed your resources. So if you're constantly in fight or flight, your body is unaware of rest and you feel guilty about having rest or taking breaks. And especially in this move, which by the way, I moved,
Congratulations on your move.
which new background, new everything is kind of crazy, but it's a thing of like having to take breaks and like pausing and like feeling the expiration of my energy and resources. Like I'm gonna go until the cows, come home or whatever. But I just that's a weird saying, sorry. But it's like the consequences of burnout is um having a mental breakdown and
Yeah.
like other mental health things. But what's your experience with burnout and mental health?
Sorry, I'm texting my kids so she go get my chapstick out of my purse. My lips feel chapped today. Um, honestly, like when it comes to burnout, I feel it in a multitude of things.
Mhm,
Professionally, right before my layoff in January,
mhm.
I I was
Was that
and I
really in
really
January?
yeah, it was in January. Isn't that crazy?
Oh
My
my
official
god.
separation was in April or the end of April.
Mhm.
Um, but it's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
That is
It
so strange.
was in April, but my like transition period was in January. I was like closer to February. But anyways, so my experience with burnout happens not necessarily from like the stress of the workload, but it definitely
Mhm.
is because I have a really hard time asking for help. Um and I like
Same.
I I find that it's hard to ask for help because I was taught in a way that like asking for help is a sign of weakness, and that
Yeah.
if you can't do it on your own, then you're not trying hard enough. So professionally I struggle with asking for help. And that bleeds sometimes into like my personal life,
Mhm.
because in my personal life, um I find I have a hard time, like, even asking, like, Brian for help if I'm struggling. So, like,
Mm.
tasks like the quote unquote, like, woman's tasks, like
Mhm.
planning the meals, going grocery shopping,
The
doing those types
women's
of things,
role.
like,
Yeah.
doing, like, majority of the chores, like, I find I struggle with, like, asking him for help, not because he wouldn't help me, but because
Mhm.
internally, like, I feel like those are things that I should be managing, like, as the like, if I look at it financially, like, I'm not the, like, breadwinner of our family, from per
Mhm.
se, but so I equate to, like, my worth is my productivity, or the amount of things that I can take care of that are go off his plate, are like, it proves like my proves my worth, which, like, saying it out loud sounds ridiculous, but it's just how
Right.
my brain works. So my burnout primarily comes from trying to handle too many things at one time without
Hmm.
asking for help in ways to, like, lighten that the mental burden or the emotional burden. um in as of now, it's lightened significantly, because, like, even though, yes, I still manage a lot of those things, like, myself, um we as a couple, like, are like, we communicate more about it, and, like, if I'm starting to get stressed, then, like, I
Sure.
talk to him about it. But that's kind of my thing, is that I have a really hard time asking for help,
Mhm.
and I just have a really hard time also saying no. So even
Yeah.
even if I mentally am not there, I have a really hard time saying, like, no, I cannot do that. No, I cannot add that to my plate. Um because I feel like I should just be able to do all of it, um all of the time.
I well, that's the
Um
thing. It's like
yeah.
I should be able to do this on a
Mhm.
one-off. I should be able to do X, Y,
Mhm.
and Z. And then it's for some reason I'm hitting a physical limitation. When I created my GoFundMe, I I realized that like I have a physical limitation. Like there is something that is limiting me from fully being able to do this thing, from moving. It's like I know that I can take a box up and down the stairs usually, but can I do that 200 times
Yeah.
without sleep? Like also working a full 9 to 5
Yeah.
while holding a stack of plates and my dogs. These are all metaphors, but it's like, sure, I could go do all these tasks, but it's the thing of things are getting compounded without any sense of relief. But then even
Mhm.
when you go to try to get relief, you feel guilty
You feel so
for
guilty about it. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and I think back to, so I don't know. I've kind of broken my life into
Mhm.
pre-COVID and then post-COVID.
Sure. Yeah.
Because pre-COVID, and, like, obviously this is like pre full-time mom, post full-time mom.
Right.
And so, like, a lot of my priorities have shifted. Pre-COVID, I was totally fine working 5 days a week, and it was typically, I am pretty sure that I would leave my house at, like, between 6:45 and, like, 7 AM to get to my, like, the bank, because I was working for Bank of
Right.
America, and I would work like a full shift, and then I wouldn't get home until like 6 or 7, and
Mm.
then would still like fit in time to go to the gym. We would still be I would still go to the gym, would still make dinner, and then I would have
Yeah.
2 solid days off, one during the week, like during weekdays, and then one weekend day, because like bank stores
Sure.
closed on Sundays. Um, and I was working like a full 40 hours, plus I was still doing like all of the house cleaning and like the grocery shopping and all that stuff. Like, I'm not trying to be like, whoa, like, oh
That's
God.
a
But I
lot
but I think
still.
about it now, and the fact of like there was like really no break. So having burnout is so real. And even now, burnout is different because, at least for me, when I was like working at my last job for the Zon, like I worked from home. And so
Mhm.
when I started my work day, I woke up, I would get dressed, and I would start my work day. And then I would be at home all day. And then I would go literally right into like doing non-work things, like
Sure.
non-corporate work things. Like
It's
you,
not a
yeah,
pause. Yeah.
there's no pause, there's no break. Like you're literally just jumping in. There's no like carpool home, or there's no
Mm.
like there's it's just you just go right into the next thing. And so it's burnout, at least from my perspective, it would
Mhm.
happen so fast and so quick that like I would just kind of I don't even know how to describe it. You just shut down. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm not a big drinker, so like
Yeah.
it's not like I would have like a drink after work. And like I take an edible like
We love
a,
a
a
gummy over
couple
here.
a couple
Yeah.
Saturday, like maybe like 3 Saturdays
Mhm.
out of the month. I'll take half a gummy, which is, I don't know, 2.5 milligrams, maybe a
Mhm.
full one, which is 5 milligrams, is so low. Um, and that's just to like chill out. And so it's not like
Right.
and that is my relaxation, not necessarily how anybody else relaxes. So like we're judgment
Sure.
free zone. Um and uh So I mean, like, it was just, for me it was hard because I was working from home, and then I was jumping right in, and I was like, I literally have no break. Like there's no break here. Um I wish that there was like some like little bit of break, because when B was
Mhm.
still in preschool, like I would drop her off at preschool, and then Brian would pick her up at the end of the day. But when she started like kindergarten, I would drop her off at kindergarten, and then I would pick her up at school. So like the that would be the it's none of those. Sorry. It's in I need my chapstick.
Chapstick
It's in my pocket.
adventures.
I put it in there this morning. Sorry, hold on. I have to pause.
It's okay.
No, it's like, what? Can you just bring me my purse?
I totally get it though with being, I don't know, part of the, sorry, I
Oh
muted you
God,
for a
you.
second.
Oh God. I thought I muted myself, but I didn't. I was like, I just need my chapstick, and she brought me lip gloss. I was like, I don't want that.
That's so cute though. Lip gloss be popping. Um, no, I think also with our brains being neurodivergent is that um
We
there
just
is
zone
like a
out all this.
different there sorry, my brain, I don't know what just happened to my brain. It's a thing of like there's a different kind of, like an autistic burnout is what my therapist calls it for myself, is that I get so like I have no reprieve or break from
No way.
performing at work to performing at home to am I leaving space for me to just be at neutral zero? You know what I mean? How do I get to
Yeah.
neutral zero? And is the only way to get to neutral zero with some sort of stimulant or some sort of depressant? You know what I mean? So it's also the balance of the two, because if not, I'm going to have a mental breakdown. I'm going to be in a mental institution. I'm not
A
going to
little
be
grippy spot
well.
break.
And I
Grippy
mean,
spot
there's that
situation.
sound on TikTok. I check myself into a mental institution, but I've got things to do because I
Yeah.
do. I don't have time for my body to literally spend a month and a half in rehab or a vacation or grippy sock vacation. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have that kind of luxury to be able to do that. So I have to, as a responsible person, need to take the time to make sure that I don't fall into a hole of despair.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like, the way that I get through this time is with a little bit of gardening gummies
Oh, gardening
and
yummy.
and my and my trash television. I don't know what it is about Real
Yeah.
Housewives or what it is about Summer House or Vanderpump Rules, like the screaming and yelling, like it does something to my nervous system where I feel like I love watching people fight. I love Bad Girls Club. Like I just it resets something in myself to where like I feel like that is my neutral. And if I do not have at least an hour or 2 hours to just lay still in my bed
Mhm.
between work and going to bed, I am not set up well for the next day. And too many of those days, and I'm having a bad week, I'm in a mental disparity, I'm not taking my medication, which, like, I do have to say, now being a month on Lexapro, like, my brain is like
Live, laugh,
it.
flex, bro.
Yeah, live, laugh, Lexapro. Like, I definitely feel, I feel
I
good.
love that. I love that for you though. And
You know?
it's crazy because I think about I think I always go back to many years ago
Mhm.
and I'm talking many years ago, like the we'll go back like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, even the 80s, like
Okay. Yeah.
many years ago. Um
Yeah.
where you can compare like the the work to life balance or yeah,
Yeah.
work life balance was so vastly different than it is
Mhm.
now. Most of the time it could be a one income family, two incomes if like you were feeling
Mhm.
a little liberal, like I mean liberal in those days. But most of the
Sure,
time, like,
yeah.
it was like a one income
Mhm.
family where, the man usually went off to work, the woman stayed at home, or, there was just like or if you like, people didn't have to work 40 plus hours or multiple jobs to just be able to survive, and
Mhm.
burnout, whilst it clearly was still happening in the 70s,
Right.
and it probably was happening before then. Like, there's a lot of trauma that happened between the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, like the 60s,
Mhm.
for Christ's sakes. Like, there's a lot of things that were happening that people were probably getting burnt out for, but there was no like coined term for it. Um, but I think that that's not not in the same comparison to now where like
I mean,
most
I think that
people
they
have
just put us in, lobotomy centers, you know?
I told you that's a sticker that's on my on my
Live,
laptop
laugh,
is it
lobotomy?
says live laugh lobotomy. Um but
Yeah.
it like we just there is no work life balance. Like corporate unfortunately a lot of corporate offices like have that like we're a family mentality and they use that as like they abuse that term or that like
Mhm.
familial bond in the fact of like because we're so close and because we're a family like there's no respect for time off or if you're salary
Right.
there's no respect for outside of like normal business hours because you're salary so we can just reach out to you like whenever you want to and then you just have to deal with it and it's like
Right.
but we as a people, like, regardless if you have kids, you don't have kids, you have pets, you don't have pets, like any of that stuff, you still should be able to disconnect yourself from your work for enough
Mhm.
time that you can rest your brain. Because if we're constantly, and that's the same as like staring at your phone all day, every day, or on your computer, like doing things, we have to, as a society, be able to disconnect. And we talked about this when we
Right.
talked about like technology and phones, is that like we as a society are so tuned in all the time that like our brains need a break. Like
Mhm.
we needed to have time to like turn off. Um and I find for me even now like my brain sometimes is so like my brain is burnt. Like if I'm
Mhm.
just like
Yeah.
so if my brain is just so burnt that like I have to like I have to I have to put my phone away. I have to like turn the TV
Mhm.
off. I have to go like find some like physical media, like a book, a magazine, like I have to color a photo, like color a picture. I have to do something where my eyes are not being like constantly bombarded with news, music, like
Right.
random bullshit. Like I just have to be able to turn it off. Like
Right.
I was thinking about it last week when I was having like my baking Thursday and I was just like baking and I was in complete silence and I didn't really think about it
Silent
until
cooking.
it was so quiet. Well, I had it I hadn't turned on
Yeah.
music because I get into like just the zone of I'm measuring
Sure.
everything out and I'm like laying everything out so I have like everything in place and I had nothing playing and I was just like thinking thoughts in my brain and I was like I should probably turn some music on cuz it's a little eerie in here but because I had so many things just like rolling around in
Yeah.
there just like firing off all at the same
It's
time I
just
was just like
rolling around.
I don't have time I don't have the capacity
Yeah.
for that additional like bit of media.
Mhm.
Like I need the silence. And I think that we as a society forgot that like sometimes it's okay to be like to be quiet and to have that not like to be quiet but to like appreciate the silence and like
Yeah.
appreciate the quiet and not have something that's like constantly like going all the time like our ancestors who probably were dealing with burnout weren't
Yeah.
always like listening to the radio or listening to records or they just had like their window open and they could hear nature or like a car drive by like
Literally unplugged. Yeah.
completely unplugged um but yeah so
It it
I
is interesting how our nervous systems can get so easily unregulated, if that makes
mhm.
sense. Do you use the Loops earplugs?
No.
Okay. Well, for myself, being part of the, you know, the spectrum, I hate going into crowds and anything where
Mhm.
there is like lots of noise. I mean, even right now I'm hearing the humming of there's a fan above me. Like
Zzz.
it's just like I could hear refrigerators, like I could hear, low frequency, whatever. And it's just that constant like noise or sound um that it unregulates me to the point that I'm like, "Ah," like I'll have like a something playing or whatever, like on my phone, and like I can't figure out how to turn it down, or like sometimes my phone like stalls out, and then I'm just like screaming at my phone or throwing my phone
Yeah.
because I'm so unregulated with the noise, or the dogs are barking and it's just at that specific pitch that it's like, this is pissing me off. Like I need it to stop. Like I just need this to stop because my brain is not regulated, and like it's putting me in a fight or flight stage, and I can't remain there. You know what I mean? Like if
Mhm.
everything is an emergency, then nothing is an emergency. And now I'm just stuck here, and my dogs
Do
are
you
barking, so I'm dying.
do you wanna know, one of those really funny key differences between you and I?
What?
I need the sound. The
I
the
can't.
sound regulates me. Isn't that the weirdest thing? The reason that I can't do because I bought them. Okay, so
Mhm.
when we went to I think it was the I think it was when we went to Vegas to go see BTS.
Mhm.
They were like, "Oh, bring headphones because like obviously like prolonged loudness is very bad for your hearing."
Mhm.
Um, so I bought them and I tested them out a couple of times and I bought like cuz if you're not familiar, loops have multi ranges in like
Right.
their frequencies. Like they have like if you're in a room full of people, then they have like a concert and blah 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 all stuff. I bought like the lowest one because I was like I hate
Mm.
wearing like inner ear headphones. I do like the traditional AirPods because they don't do that like noise canceling. Anything that's like noise canceling, it makes me feel like I'm underwater and then it makes
Mhm.
me really car sick. It's the weirdest thing. It's the
Sure.
damnest weirdest thing. So anyways, I bought them and I hate them. So have never worn them because it makes me feel really claustrophobic. Like in my ear it just feels really claustrophobic and I can't handle it. Now like when we're sleeping, we have a fan on. But you kind of described something that happens to me and it makes me feel like crazy because Brian doesn't notice it, but it's like if your fan, it's like if there's like a clicking in your fan or the frequency of the fan is just like slightly off for whatever reason, I can hear that. And then I'm like,
I can't.
am I having a stroke? Like, is there something happening? Because it's like it just shifts enough. And then I'm like in the dark, like I need to turn this fan off because if I don't turn this fan off, I may in fact go crazy. And so then I have to like put my hand over my ear a little bit
Yeah.
and just kind of deal with it.
Um,
But yeah,
I've heard
I'm there.
of people doing like EDMR training or therapy, where like the frequency of sound can go in between from right to left, so you're supposed to like let that frequency
Yeah.
go and it helps. But I'm always very curious, and if you're listening to this podcast, I am always interested of how our listeners are regulating themselves, regulating their
Yeah.
bodies, regulating
Let me know.
themselves to feel that neutral, because I feel like where the neutral lies is where we can find restoration and we can find peace within ourselves, because there is so much outside noise that it is almost impossible to
Mhm.
detach. And I know that a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, detaching is like that's very privilege of you." You know what I mean? Like it's a very privileged thing to be able to like, you know, ignore your phone, put it on do not disturb, like become unavailable or not listen to the news or whatever because you need to regulate your system. I get that that's a privilege. But I think that it is necessary for this day and age. So,
I I do, and I agree with that too because we can't. Yes, there's a lot of like terrible things that are happening in our world and we should know, but we don't need to know. We don't have to have it like immersed every single day. I kind of try to live
right.
it in the same way. I feel so old when I say stuff like this. Is like I don't consume news media all day. I will only consume
Sure.
news media in the morning.
Mm,
So like I'll consume it in the morning and then I will not consume anything until the next following day. And like isn't because
that's
if
kind
you
of
think about it,
crazy
I I
because
do
you
it
have to
very
be present
specifically.
for children, you know, like a child.
Yeah. Well, and I do it for the fact of like I consume all of that during the morning so that I can stay up to current dates or up to current affairs. But I
Hmm.
found that when I was like consume if I was like Facebook on and then it was like news or like
Hmm.
Instagram, blah 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 blah. Like it was just too much. Like politically, it was too
Right.
much. News-wise, it was too much. Like there was just because there's so much more bad than there is good. Like it was just exhausting. And I was like, I don't want to live my life like this. I would love my social media
Yeah.
to just be like cute, nostalgic stuff or gardening content or like music. And that was like, that's all I really wanted to see. And so I was like, I will turn off this and I'll seek out news and information and then play it like I'm watching the morning news and that's it.
Yeah.
Like
That's
so
beautiful.
I mean it helps cuz I just like mentally it was too much. And I think that that also plays into a lot of people's burnout is just like their overconsumption of
Of media.
media. We got to learn how to
Interesting.
like dial it back a little bit.
Well,
Anywho,
if you're dealing with burnout, let us know down in the comments down below. Um, do you want to get to some asking a millennial?
yeah. Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. The theme is burnout. So I will take the first one and you can take the second one.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So this first one comes from the Am I Overreacting subreddit. It's about 4 months ago. Okay, it says, am I overreacting because I am burnt out and my husband doesn't seem to notice? For context, I am a 26 female, am 12 weeks pregnant, mother to a 21-month-old baby boy, 12-year-old stepson, and a full-time 8th grade English teacher. I leave the house at 6:30 a.m. and get home around 4 p.m. Then I cook and care for our family. My husband, 32 male, usually gets home around 6:30 because he coaches lacrosse, but his practice gets out at 5:30. He also teaches, but he is not teaching a core class. He teaches an elective of learning strategies, so he mainly gets to sit and chill all day. I also was a basketball coach and had coached since we met. We used to connect and relate on the whole coaching thing. This year, I had to step away from coaching to take care of our family. In the fall of 2025, he started coaching football without warning, leaving me no choice but to put my coaching career on hold. Fast forward to now, that was about 5 months ago. I have voiced to him I am tired and look forward to a break when he gets home. I struggle with morning sickness a lot the first trimester and still struggle with fatigue. It is difficult to keep up with my toddler after working all day. Nonetheless, I always have dinner ready. The house is always clean. Clothes are always washed and folded. I just stress to him to get home as soon as he can so that we can have family time, see each other, and hopefully I can go upstairs a little early to have some alone and rest time. He says one of these days I'll get home at a reasonable time, but he rarely leaves practice when it's over. He constantly says, "Oh gosh, sorry." He's constantly says he's talking with a player, coach, or parent, but can't text me when that's happening because he doesn't realize how late it's getting. He typically makes it home between 6:30 and 7. Tonight specifically, he called at 5:45 to ask me if I minded him going to a lacrosse game to scout a team. He coaches lacrosse. I had a less than desirable day at work, and I thought that he was calling to say he was headed home or close to being home. So he said, "Do whatever you want to do," and proceeded to hang up and cry. I don't like being the decision maker to something like that. I don't want to be the reason he can't go do what he wants to do. And at the same time, I'm so tired of saying the same thing. I always say if I have to tell you what to do, it's not genuine. It's just you following orders, and I don't want to order you around. So when he got home at 7:15 tonight, my energy was off for obvious reasons. He asked me what was wrong, and I really don't know what to say. Anytime I voice a concern, he gets angry that I'm upset and immediately gets defensive. Then gives some quick apology like, "I'm sorry I made you feel that way." And it really feels like he's saying it so the conversation will end. It never feels genuine or as if he really hears me. And seeing that his actions repeat, it displays to me that he doesn't understand the issue, even though I've explained it numerous times. I'm at the point where I'm resenting him, and I don't know how to describe it or fix it. I am increasingly obnoxious about another baby coming to the mix as I'm nervous about handling even more than I currently am. Am I overreacting?
No, no.
Her feelings are entirely valid because she's
Yeah.
acting like a single parent. She
She
is
she
she's
is. Yeah.
expressed how when he comes home, it's a break for her. But if he doesn't come home on time, she's having to do all of the bathing, like making sure that they're ready for, bed,
Yeah.
and then whatever
That
morsel that she gets left for herself.
that's so wild. And the way that OP has posted this, or it makes it sound like he is coaching like 5 days a week,
Mhm.
which like unless you unless you have
Mhm.
had a conversation, like clearly they had a conversation because they both were coaching, like they met when they were coaching. But the moment that like one, there's a 12-year-old involved, so like
Yeah, even
that
yeah.
child is pretty self-sufficient. Like you still obviously should be feeding and like
Mhm.
making sure that they're, being responsible. But then when it comes to like you have a 21-month-old and you're also 12 weeks pregnant, and it sounds as though she has started making changes for her life to like make sure that the family is fine. But it sounds like he's still living in his life of I'm going to continue to do whatever I want to do because this is what I like to do. And like, you
Mhm.
can handle the rest. And that just really sucks because if she said, like, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to be late tonight." And she was like, "Ugh, do whatever you want to do." You can't be that ignorant,
Right.
like incompetent, like that clearly your partner is not having the best feelings about you being gone. Especially if she's still like working a full day, plus she's taking care of the two children and growing a human. No, I don't think that she's overreacting, but I also feel like she needs to start advocating for herself. Um, because
Mhm.
things aren't going to change if she doesn't communicate like what her needs are. um my opinion, he should probably stop coaching or at least cut back
I
on
agree.
coaching
He
so
should
that
cut
he can
back.
focus on his family,
And
focus
like
on the family.
this isn't the time for him to be like, let me push in my career. Like, you have a child coming. You also have a child that is 21 months who's still in diapers. You know what I mean? Like, they
Mhm.
are like they don't even have the ability to go potty by themselves without some sort of intervention, you know?
Yeah.
Because toddlers are notorious for having lots of accidents and potty accidents, and like, even though that they love to run around and get into things and be big boys and all these things, it's like there is still like they're still toddlers, they still need people. There's a comment here that says, you're not overreacting. Why are you having another child with him? And she says,
Mhm.
well, I'm in love with him. When he gets home, he is present, kind, reciprocating, aka all of the things I want my husband to be. He is also loving towards me and a great father. We also decided to have another child because we are great parents together. He also is an amazing coach and has made such a difference in so many kids' lives, like sending them to college difference. And he truly is passionate about it. And I love seeing him have that kind of fulfillment. I'm not questioning my marriage, commitment, or growing my family with him. I'm trying to determine if I'm not seeing this clearly, or if I am, I need to decide how to go about voicing this issue in a different way, as the current methods aren't proving to be effective. I think that her husband is busy being a kid without
Mhm.
responsibilities. His kids are fine. His wife has them.
Yeah, his wife is handling this. So, and anybody I don't want to be like, "Oh my," I don't want to speak for their life story because
Mhm.
I don't want to be like, "Oh my gosh, he's not a good dad," because the way like I said, the way that this is being perceived by me when I listen to this is that he's
Mhm.
coaching multiple days a week. And so like how does he have time to be a good dad if he's dedicating so much time to like his
Yeah.
after school coaching? And now again, I don't want to say like, oh, anybody that coaches is like not a good parent, because that's definitely not what I'm saying, because you can be a good parent and a good coach. um but it sounds like OP needs her husband and the father of her kids a little bit more than like the lacrosse
Right.
needs coaching. You know, like you can I mean maybe he needs to have like a co-coach, or I don't know, step down to more of like an assistant coach
An
or like
assistant
a
role. Yeah.
yeah, so that he can still be a part of it, but it's not fully on his plate or be I don't know. It just sounds like she is doing so much work, um, and he's just kind of like doing whatever he wants to do.
Mhm.
I don't think that he's overreacting at all. I think that it's reasonable. I would be pissed if it were me.
Yeah.
And like
And from everything that I've seen, like, she seems to like advocate very much that like he is a great parent, and it sounds like he's capable of being a great parent. Um I just think that maybe he's not seeing her as a partner, really. He's just seeing
mhm.
her as the person who takes care of their children.
Yeah. Why can't I?
All right.
I
Well,
can't open it.
it's interesting because I was just like looking at this person's like Reddit posts, and they've
Mhm.
posted like 2 years prior about how coaching, this would be 2 years prior, so before that they've had this toddler, of how coaching is not going very well for them. and they're just feeling like, you know, that they coach, basketball, and knowing that, there's the added pressure, but then she wants to have a family, and having like the politics of being a coach and all these things. And it sounds like in those posts that she figured out, oh, like if I want to do these things, I need to take a step back. And it's interesting that like she's doing that in her mid 20s, and her husband is in his early 30s and hasn't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
So, all right. You want to read the next one?
That's rude. Yeah, I can't
Unless
get the
you're
link
not
open.
Oh, I can read it. It's fine.
No, I want to read it. I just can't open the link. Do you have it clicked on your side? Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see if I can open it here. I can't open it on my laptop.
Why?
That was so annoying. I don't know. All right. Well, I'll just read it here. That's fine. Okay. So this says, am I overreacting for feeling drained over constant misunderstandings?
Ooh.
Lately, I've been going through this cycle with my boyfriend where small things turn into big emotional reactions, and it's starting to take a toll on me. We've been together for 2 years, and the relationship has been like this almost from the start. Most recently, I liked a video on social media. It was a reaction video where a girl said that she didn't believe in monogamy, and someone stitched it mocking her. I found the guy's reaction funny and gave it a like. That's it. My boyfriend saw that I liked it. Apparently, his friend sent it to him, and he responded with a passive aggressive, hope you find many heart emoji, thumbs up emoji, and quotation type of message. I explained right away that I just laughed at the guy's sarcasm, and then it didn't mean I agreed with what the girl said with the girl at all. I even reassured him, telling him that I only want him, I love him, and I have no desire to be with anybody else. He left me on red, and it's been hours. This kind of thing has happened before where I have to defend myself over things that feel like non-issues, and it's always followed by silence from his end, like I'm being punished. I don't oh wait, hold on. Let's see. I don't know if he's sleeping, thinking, or just ignoring me. But the longer it goes on, the more I feel unseen and misunderstood. I don't think I did anything wrong, and yet here I am, feeling like I have to prove my loyalty for the millionth time. I even told him I was sad and hurt, and I wish that he trusted me more, and that I'm here if he wants to talk. No reply. I'm not looking to break up. I love him, and I'm starting to realize that emotional safety matters just as much as love. It hurts to be constantly questioned over things that shouldn't even be seen as red flags. I've had people tell me before that I should leave him because of the way that he treats me, how he gets upset over little things and emotional silence, the way he twists things that feel harmless to me, and deep down, a part of me knows that they might be right. But the truth is, I just don't feel like I have the strength to do it. I love him so much, and the thought of walking away feels impossible right now. Ugh.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
That sounds like the top comment says, that sounds like the emotional abuse of a very small man.
So,
2
like,
years.
I feel like this a lot with like friends, and it takes me a minute to realize that, like, and it's not like, oh, you're bent on misunderstanding me, or why aren't you seeing like good intentions in me? Like, you're always seeing negative in me. It's not that, but it's like, why are you misunderstanding me? Why are you not taking me at my face value? Why, if you're with me, if you're with me, why would you think I would like think like that?
Yeah,
Why would
no.
you assume bad about me? And
Mm-mm,
then
mm-mm,
realizing
mm-mm,
that like
mm-mm,
people who are always questioning your morals or your,
mm-mm.
you know, your I guess
Intentions.
efficiency,
Yeah.
yeah, your intentions, like anyone who questions like my motives, they're not the person for you. And it's okay to have like acquaintances or like people that you know, but you don't have to
Yeah.
share those deep parts of you where like
I,
that's where your soul lies, that's where your integrity lies, you know?
I feel as though like when you are in I mean, like, I've been in my fair share of emotional roller coaster relationships or very
Yeah.
unhealthy red flag relationships where, like, I could be, like, I have been the red flag or they are the red flag. Like, we have all had situations where we've been in some type of toxic relationship, be it a friendship, be it romantic, be it whatever.
Yeah.
Um, until you can truly become like have a green flag type of situation,
Mhm.
you you kind of put on those like rose colored glasses and you're like, well,
Yeah.
I know that I constantly have to like defend myself to this person and like
Yeah.
I have to like over explain or over analyze or they're over analyzing. Like, for example, I we've talked about I like BTS. I love BTS.
Mhm.
And well, I mean,
Mhm.
like, it could be it's not just music wide, like, animation, or if there's, like, an anime that I really like, and there's a character that I'm like, "Oh gosh, so attractive." Uh,
Mhm.
I send that shit to Brian all the time. Like,
Mhm.
men, women, I don't care. If I like it and I wanna look at it, I guess who I'm sending it first to? Him.
Right.
And, like,
Yeah.
if you're in a relationship where, like, your partner doesn't trust you or, like, you don't have that type of, like, connection where you can
Yeah.
just send him a half naked Korean man and be like, "This is daddy," like, like, you just it's just not there. And so I feel for this person because, I've been there where you're
Mhm.
constantly walking on eggshells and having to like defend what you're doing. God, if I had to date my like biggest red flag person now
Yeah.
in the height of like social media and reels and like all of that stuff, God,
Mhm.
it would be a mess. Be like, you know what I mean? Did you think about it? Ugh. Like, constantly being have to be like, "Why did you like
Yeah.
that post?
Mhm.
Why did you repost that? Or why did you" like, because I wanted to, because I'm a
Because I
grown
wanted to, I
adult.
liked it. It
Yeah,
gave me
because
a
I thought
little
it was funny.
serotonin.
Like, it was great,
Yeah.
like, whatever. Um, so I would tell her to be like, "I'm so sorry. Tell that boy bye." Like, 2 years is a long time.
Boy, bye.
But I'm gonna be
Mhm.
really honest with you, like, 2 years ain't shit. Like, 2 years goes by like that.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Also, like, totally not on topic, the way that this Oogie Boogie is, like, sitting has been so distracting because it's like, "Hey, guys. Hey, hey." Have you seen that
B
video where they, like, put the filter up and it's, like, the guy, like, pops up, it's, like, Snapchat filter, and they're like,
Mhm.
"Oh," and they, like, go to put yeah, that's what it makes me think of because it wants to be part of the conversation. But, yeah, anyways, I don't think I don't think OP is overreacting, but I definitely don't think that she should be in that relationship
Yeah, I think she needs to leave.
anymore. Go away.
But let us know in the comments down below which advice would you give to either of them? What?
Can I tell you a little quick thing? I was supposed to tell you earlier and I forgot. I just remembered just now. And I know that we're wrapping up. Yesterday,
Mhm.
my older daughter, we were
Mhm.
listening to music, and somehow the conversation popped up about like I was listening to a thing on YouTube that was like, can you listen to these songs from the 90s and like not
Yeah.
dance to them? I love those
Mhm.
so much because I just do. And I think it was also, there was another one where it was like Gen Z kids or whatever have to, or like these
Yeah.
new era kids have to identify songs from like the late 90s, early 2000s. And so it was
Okay.
like Alanis Morissette, Goo Goo Dolls, like that kind of stuff. Um, but they would just play like the first clip of the song. Uh, and my older daughter brought up about how like uh like parents give their kids shit for wearing like retro band tees, like
Yeah.
named like, who would you like, they're wearing like a Notorious BIG t-shirt, and it's like, could you even s- tell me two songs that Biggie
Yeah.
sang, you know what I mean? But she was like, oh, that's like when I think she had a Nirvana shirt, or we had said something
Mhm.
about Nirvana, and she was like, oh, I could name a whole Nirvana album. And I was like, "Oh, you
Yeah.
can." And I was feeling a little sassy because I was about, my tummy kinda kicked
Yeah.
in, so we were just, like, having a kiki, and we were just, like, laughing and joking and stuff, and
Sure.
she was like, "I could name a whole Nirvana album." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you, like, that's so amazing." Um,
Yeah.
this is coming also from the child uh who referred to Dr. Dre as Dr. DRE. Um,
Oh,
but with
okay.
her full chest, and like she knows, I said, I was like, I'm bringing this up on pod today. So
Yeah.
she knows that I'm bringing this up. So she said with her full chest, I was like, tell me the Nirvana
Yeah,
album.
tell me that Nirvana album.
Whole chest. She goes, smells like Teen Spirit. And I was like, are you sure about that, friend?
Yeah. You sure
Are
about
you
that?
sure? Are you sure about that, friend?
You sure about that? You
Like,
sure
are
about
you
that?
I was like, "Are you sure about that?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Can you pull up your Spotify, friend?"
Yeah, please pull
That's
let's roll the tape.
that's a song title, not an album title. So
Okay,
sorry,
what'd she
friend.
say?
She didn't say anything. I was like, "I love you so much." I was like, "No." I was like,
No.
"You get to be raised by the Tism mommy with a music brain, music brain."
And
So
now the
anyways,
school begins.
I
So,
was like, "I'm so sorry." So yeah, so it made me laugh, and I was like, "Oh my goodness." I had a good little chuckle, and I was like, "Okay, so now we're just going to." I actually, like, I'm not a big Nirvana fan, so like
so
that's
was she
not
talking
for me.
about the Nevermind album baby
With the baby
with the
just swimming
baby?
with the baby. Yeah, it was definitely never mind. Um, yeah, yeah, I was never really a Nirvana fan. It just was not my vibe, but that's all right. I won't yuck
Listen, I'm all
anyone's yum
for
on
it.
that.
Natalie, what do you got going on?
Not a whole ton. I'm working on some content that I keep saying that I'm going to post, and I never do because then I talk myself out of it, but I'm working on it. I'm getting my Substack set up with recipe things.
I can't wait.
I would love to get that set. So I'm gonna work on that this week. And I'm also going to be working on my resume, which I hate doing, but I'm going to do it anyways. But you can
Lovely.
find me at Natalie Christina on Instagram and on TikTok. I would love a follow. I post a lot of gardening stuff, recipe stuff, and a lot of K-pop stuff and a little anime. So and we've been playing Pokemon Go a lot. So
I love that.
I love Pokemon Go. We're having a little revival. What about you, my love?
Well, I gotta finish moving. And then
Almost
I'll
done.
probably be posting some content of. I posted something today. First
I
content
saw.
I made in a couple days
I
of
love
me going to. I walked to the coffee shop today.
that. Amazing.
Which like that sounds so stupid, but it's like when you kind of lived in a little bit like isolated, and there's like nothing really going on, to like living in like a city-ish area.
Mhm.
I walked to my local coffee
I love it.
stop. It was
love
just
it.
really nice. So
That's
I'm gonna be
nice.
posting more content like that.
Mhm.
I got some shelves over here to organize. We're going to be going through some of these memory boxes. If that's content that you want to watch, go follow me on all social media _queer auntie. I'm posting a lot of cute little things. Follow me, and you won't want to miss it. Sunday mornings, I go coast to coast over on Fightful Overbooked. We're talking wrestling stuff, so if you are interested in that, go follow me over there. I'm just slowly coming back into like streaming and doing content.
You got a lot going on. This move is
I'm just
was
tired.
big. Yeah.
So
Burnout Be Real.
Burnout Be Real. And this is Peak Millennials. Go follow us on Instagram at Peak Millennials Pod. You know us, you love us. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you around next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.